All right, welcome back to the StartStrong series, everybody. Episode number 8. Today's theme, it's in the name, Start Strong. We're going to work on a bit of strength today, all right? So a bit of all over body strength. Let's get you cracking. Again, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Let's have a jolly old time. Let's get going. So let's get you started, everybody, into one of my favorite exercises, that being the Pilates press up. Now, it varies a little bit from normal press ups in that we're doing it very, very slowly, and we're going to be doing it off of our knees, all right? A lot of times people feel like, oh, you know, girly press ups on the knees. Well, actually, no, this is quite tough to do. So there's a couple of little tweaks, little bits, so I want to try and just show you quickly how you're going to do it. Now, what we're going to start you off with, to begin with, is with the knees together, so your knees are underneath your hips, all right? The hands are going to be shoulder distance apart, but not directly underneath your shoulders there. We want to be a little bit further forwards in front of you, okay? Now, one of the tricks with this one is to make sure that we're keeping the elbows tucked into your sides. So if you'd imagine doing this when you're cramped in against 100 other people, we want to try and keep the elbows tucked in as opposed to coming out. Because otherwise, if you're quite close in at that shoulder distance, but then twisting, you're going to get that lot of twisting force at the wrist. So let's keep you tucked in. That's one of the trickier bits to get used to. But again, we're keeping core nice and braced because nothing changes in our core positioning here. We're going to look for a minute of press-ups. All right, now I want to take a big deep breath in, lean forwards past the fingertips, breathe it out, back up to the top. Try not to lock your elbows at the top, okay? So again, breathe it in, breathe it out. Now again, you can bring the hands a little bit further forwards if you want to. You don't have to be too far backwards here. Keeping the elbows tucked though, that's the main thing. And we're going to just before the point of no return. All right, so keep going for me. Now, again, make sure that you're leaning forwards. Try not to lean back and kind of rest the forearms down on the ground there. We don't want to be fidgeting our way out of it that way. We want to try and keep bottom into the air there. Keep that core nice and braced. And again, breathe in as you lower down. Breathe it out as you come back up to the top. All right, just take it nice and slowly. Just going to a depth that you can manage and then coming back up. Even if it's only a very small little movement and then back up, that's fine. Keep those elbows tucked in. All right, well done. Excellent. Okay, so relaxing gently off from that. So 1 minute of those to start you off with. And again, you don't have to do it all in one go. If you want to do it in a short sort of, short segments of it, you certainly can do. You could do 2 lots of 30 seconds or however you want to break it up. Fine, no problem. Then I want to look into plank positions, all right? Now, a lot of times people have done planks in the past. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're doing it correctly though, because there's positioning wise, we want to take into account a few things, but also we want to be thinking about what's going on under the surface as well. So I'm going to get us doing this on the forearms because you've just fried your arms after doing all those press ups. So we're going to come down onto the floor. Now, I generally start people off with the feet together and we're down onto the forearms here. I'm going to get you braced through that core first. So we're bringing your tummy button in towards your spine. And then we're just taking the knees up and off, squeezing through your bottom. And we're going to try and hold in position here. Now, a lot of times people will do this and they dip really far down, which is going to put a lot of pressure on their back and their core can't activate. Or they'll be too far up this way. And again, that's not going to be ideal. So we want to try and bring you down into the middle there, but keep your tummy nice and tight. Keep squeezing through your bottom here. Now, what I'm going to do on this one here is it's going to be 30 seconds to start us off. Now, again, if that's a bit too much for you at the moment, just go for, let's say, 10 or 15 seconds. Now, that's a pause on there just for a moment. You could do 10 or 15 seconds, then rest, and then come back into it again and do it, however, again, you want to break this up, absolutely fine. We don't need to go too crazy with it, all right? If you're ready for it though, let's go back into it again. Let's practice that setup once again. So I'm going to walk you back so you're in a nice neutral position through your back first. I want to make sure we get that core braced, squeeze your bottom, take the knees away onto those forearms, and let's go for it. So we're just going to keep you in that position. If you're ever unsure of the position that you should be in, you want to go a little bit higher than where you think. Try not to dip down too much. Try not to sink down into your shoulders as well. We want to try and keep you up. So your shoulders are backing down, and we're going to keep squeezing and keep going. All right, so big deep breaths. Well done. And there we go. Time is done on that one. Well done, fantastic. So we've looked at a lot of the upper body. We've looked at a lot of the core there as well. In terms of our legs, all right, what I'll get you to do from there is maybe go into a squat position, okay? So for squats, what we're gonna look for now is gonna be with the feet at shoulder distance apart, all right? Now we're gonna try and keep the feet nice and straight forwards. I wanna try and make sure that we keep your arches switched on here. Try not to let your foot collapse down and in on that one, all right? So once we're in that standing, nice strong position there, what I'll then get us to do is go for a minute of just pointing your bottom back, keeping the knees out, and then gently lowering you down. I tend to get people putting their hands out in front just so that you're not tempted to swing through the arms. All right? We keep the knees out. Don't let them cave inwards like that because that's a bit of a knee destroyer. So keep the weight on your heels, bottom back, and just gently lower you down. Okay? Now again, I know there's a lot of school of thought, people saying, oh, you know, you should be going right down, hip crease down below the knee or it doesn't count and all this sort of thing. But I personally at the moment would suggest go to wherever you find is comfortable, you feel like it's working, but you're not being pushed too far because you don't want to go into a butt wink, as it's called, where you tip your back backwards again. That's a technical term. We just want to try and get you to work through the range that you're comfortable in at the moment. And then over time, as you get more flexible and you work on that strength, you'll be able to get further and further down on it. But let's not push it too far to start you off. All right. So the main thing there is keeping the weight back. Try and keep it on the heels. Try and keep those knees out. Give those 3 a try. Give me a shout. Let me know how you get on with them. Again, I will see you next week. Have a lovely time and yeah, see you next time.